Hello everyone and welcome to Fire Emblem Path of Radiance. I am Wishblade and this is my next main LP. If you don't know what the hell Fire Emblem is, well, let me tell you. It is a tactical RPG where you gather yourself a wonderful little army and then you go do RPG stuff. Save the world, beat the bad guys and all that. And before we go back to the cutscene again, let's just go to this menu instead, because that would be tedious. And if any of your allied units die in whatever chapter you're playing, if they die, they're gone for good. So you need to be mindful of what you do, because if you screw up and send some unit out on the battlefield and they're not ready for what's to come, they just might die. And you can still continue with most characters dead, but it's nice to have your entire army, so there's that. But yeah, let's just really, there's gonna be a lot to explain with this one. Even more so than Tales of Symphonia, I have a feeling. But right now, I don't know, let's just get started, kinda. So, first things first, we can choose a difficulty setting. Easy is for if you don't know anything, then you should start with easy because, well, obviously it's easy. You gain more experience, enemies are weaker, and it's all good. Normal, if you know your way around the game, and it's just, well, it's in the middle of things. You gain some experience, the enemies are as strong as they are. It's normal. It's normal. And then difficult, or hard, where obviously you gain less experience, enemies are more difficult, and at times, certain aspects of various chapters will change. There are some changes here and there, and I'll point out some of those changes here and there. Usually it's just, there are more enemies, but sometimes it's more specific than that. And what am I going to do here? Well, really, originally, I was intending to go for easy because I am not good at this. It's a tactical RPG and I'm not a very tactical person. Usually, I'm very reckless. I run in and then all of a sudden I get killed, or someone is standing in an unfortunate spot and then they die because I didn't pay attention. But against my better judgment, I'm gonna go with normal. That's probably gonna come back and bite me in the butt, but that's what I'm gonna do. Now, this is the thing, if you've completed the game once, at least once, then you can choose to level up with the fixed mode, where your characters increase in level, their stat improvements are based on the unit's strengths. Now what the hell does that mean? It means that basically there's a lot of math to this whole thing, and I'm not gonna try to explain how that works, but basically your characters they'll gain an average amount of stats. Once you get to their max level, they'll be average. They won't be terrible, but they won't be amazingly powerful either. So that's the thing you can do. There are going to be some differences. It's not going to be the same stats every single time, but it's mostly the same stats with slight changes. Like I said, yeah, I've probably said this many times right now. I'm not going to try to explain this, but down in the description there is a link to a site with loads of information where I've gained most of my research. But if you want to know how this is calculated and everything, then go down there and look it up. I'm not going to try to explain it, that's too much. I have too many other things to explain. Random, on the other hand, is basically that. It's random. Every character has a certain number, a certain percentage of how their stats are going to increase. So their stats they might have a 50% chance to gain a point in strength. So with each level up, there's a 50% chance they'll gain some strength, or they won't. But we'll get into that later on. Right now, let's just choose random, because that's what I'm going to be doing, and then have ourselves a cutscene.
Well, Ike, you had enough?
Dad! Ike!
Oh, missed.
Ike? Oh no!
Missed that song.
Ah, you're up. About time.
Prologue, Mercenaries. So that was one of the few cutscenes that are in this game. Yeah, I think I'm alright, don't you worry. I won't say the cutscenes are that good. They could be a bit better, but they're there, so what can you do? Hello there, old man. Pops, I guess. What are you doing? Yeah, but still, even though they're practice swords, they have to be heavy. Otherwise, we're not really gonna be learning anything. Right? Right? I think that's how it goes. You can't just use styrofoam or anything like that. Heroic music! Yes, indeed! Yeah. We're fine. We're absolutely fine. Maybe I should introduce some of these people. Meet Ike, the blue-haired guy, who is our main protagonist. Meet Grail, who is the father of these two characters, and the leader of a mercenary group called Grail's Mercenaries, and Mist, Ike's younger sister. A single blow? That's right, Ike. You shall never give up. If you give up, then you won't make it in this world. Aha! Papa is very proud of you. Yeah, I'm not gonna be reading all of that. Just like Tales of Symphonia, I'm not gonna be reading all of that. Occasionally, I might read something, but not all of it. Hell no. Now, who the hell are you? Boyd? Boyd? Who the hell is Boyd? What kind of name is that? Boyd? It's a fine name, yes indeed. This is Boyd, one of the Grail Mercenaries. Under Grail's command, yes indeed. And he's a friend, but he's also kind of a rival to Ike. You'll see a bit of that here and there. Yeah, too bad. That happened a little while ago. You're a little late to the party. Well now, are you gonna come up with a lie, Ike? Yes, you are. Yeah, nothing at all happened. Sure. Ha ha ha. Thank you, Mist, for being honest. No, you're not sorry. It's fine. You're just an annoying little sister. Really now? What? Why? Sparring partner? What? We aren't gonna spar with you, Dad? What the hell? But I don't want to spar against the simple, little, weak, green-haired guy. Look at him, his hair is green. Well, I suppose that does make sense with closer to own skill. You are the commander, after all, so I suppose it makes sense. But are you fine with this, eh, Boyd? No, not really. He's very confident in his own skills, yes he is. And here you go. Here's a little bit of the arena, the battlefield. Player phase, and also this. As you play the game, tutorial windows like this one will appear from time to time. Yes, indeed they will. Anna, your helpful hint girl, who is a recurring character in Fire Emblem games, a lovely red-haired lady, yes indeed, and she will help explain and demonstrate things. And if you want the tutorials, you can simply go and choose them in your menu if you want to. Me, I'm not going to use tutorials. I'll try to explain things on my own, as crazy as they'll be. But this is the battlefield, and it is split up into these square tiles. So, this is how you're going to be moving about. You're going to be moving about this tile space, defeat enemies, defeat bosses, do whatever objective you're going to do. As it says right up there in the upper left corner, our goal for this prologue mission is to defeat the boss, and we are on turn 1. The thing above it shows the terrain that we are on. Like right here, it's just plain, and it shows some stats that we're not going to go into right now. And this is a tree. You can't stand on trees because they're blocking the way, so that is a thing, but again, we'll also get into that. There's so many things we'll get into eventually. And enemies are shown as red units, so now you know. And allies are shown as blue. There you go. And now, before we do anything, I am going to be introducing to you the character bio. Yes, indeed, I'm trying to be a little fancy with this Let's Play, just a little bit. And now you're gonna be wondering what the hell is all this information that's on here. So let me try to explain it just very briefly. I'll try. Up in the right is the class of Ike, I'm showing off Ike right now, obviously. His class is Ranger, and his starting level is 1. He starts at the very bottom, so it's all good. And then it shows skills, which he has none of, and I'll go into those a little bit in just a moment. And then there's Affinity, which is Earth, and it's not really that important, but it's just there mostly for completion's sake. And we'll get into what the Affinity does a bit later in the LP. Then over on the left at the top, there are base stats, and those are the stats that Ike starts with. So his HP, which is hit points, health, if they go to 0, then you die and it's a game over because Ike is not allowed to die. Then there's strength, which is your physical damage and kinda your attack speed. Magic, which is your magical attack, basically. And skill, which affects your accuracy and your chance to perform a critical strike. I think there's also something else, but I can't remember it. I'll probably get to that at some other point. Right now, I'll just go with what I remember. Speed, which determines your attack speed. Luck, which determines your evasion, your hit rate, and your dodge. Dodge is your ability to prevent enemy critical strikes. Oh yeah, and speed also affects your evasion. Defense, your physical defense. Resistance, your magical defense. There you go. Below that is weapon level, and Ike has a weapon level of D in swords. Weapon levels go from E to D, C, B, A, eventually reaching S. And I'll go into that also way later. No need to explain everything about that right now. And below that is Ike's movement, which is 6 right now. His constitution or build, which is 9. Which determines his weight, which is currently 9. And those also affect things that I'll get into in the future. Right now, they are not really that important in the prologue, so whatever. And I believe that might be it. So what are these skills? Yes, there's a lot of explanations. I know, I'm sorry. You really want to get to the gameplay, but there you go. And skills, right here, you can see an example of a skill. Discipline. This is only available on Boyd and, spoiler alert, Grail in this chapter only, where it allows this unit to control strength when training, so they're not as powerful as they would be. So there you go. But some characters have skills right away as soon as you get them. Other skills you can equip or teach to characters at a later point in the game. But again, we'll go over that when we get there. Right now, we are going to be moving over to Boyd and attacking. So, Ike has, obviously, 6 movement. So you can see here, the blue spaces indicate where you can move, and the yellow spaces indicate where your weapon can strike, where you can attack. Right now, I can only attack whatever's directly adjacent to him, so let's just move over there to Boyd. And the movement speed right there, that's something I'll talk about in a moment. Hello, Boyd. Hey, I can only move so much. If I had 7 movement, I'd be able to reach you immediately, but not right now. Yeah, I'll be there this turn. There you go. So yeah, right now, Boyd is not gonna be doing any movement at this moment in time. But yeah, that movement, that is the normal amount of movement, of movement speed whenever a character moves in the game. But if you go to options, there are many things. Animation, I'll go over that eventually. Combat camera, again, something else. Yeah, probably just should go down to what I'm actually talking about. Game speed. If you want characters to move a bit faster, which I want, because eventually there's gonna be so many characters moving on every player phase, enemy phase, etc, etc. So I want the game to be on fast. Message speed, I think it's alright. It could be faster or max, which just appears immediately, but I think normal is okay. And these other options, well, do I need to explain them right now? Not really, except for this one. Bonus experience. This is something we'll get later on with each chapter, and I want this display to be activated. And you can only get this bonus experience display if you have completed the game once. Now, let's get into a fight. Also, there's this menu. If you choose to wait, that is a certain thing. You can choose to wait, and your character's turn, your unit's turn, either one works, will end, and you can't use that character again this turn. The other things are items. Right now, Ike has no items except for this trainer sword, which he'll only have for this turn, or this prologue chapter. He'll get a better sword eventually, don't you worry. Also, just fun fact, this sword cannot cause critical hits. And what are critical hits? Yeah, sure, I'll mention it. Critical hits are... you hit your opponent and you deal 3 times as much damage. But you can't do any crits in this chapter, no. The other option is shove, and you can use this to push enemies around. I'll go over that a little bit more in another chapter, maybe next chapter. But right now, we want to attack and use our trainer to hit Boyd. Now, those arrows right there, besides trainer and practice sword, or practice axe, not sword, what the hell. I'll go into that again in the next chapter. So right here, you can see our HP, the HP of Ike in the blue, of Boyd in the red. You can see our might, which is our how much damage we'll be dealing, our accuracy or hit rating, meaning what is our percentage chance of actually hitting our opponent, and our critical strike rating, which there is none of because trainer can't crit, practice axe can't crit. So let's just attack. And this will take us into this. This is the battle animation screen or something, whatever you want to call it. And you can choose not to have this in the options menu, but for now, we'll have this awesome battle scene with awesome battle music, and we will attack Boyd, like so. And once you attack an opponent, you will just have this automatic battle. You don't have to do anything. You'll just get to have a little fancy show of physical prowess or magical prowess, which we'll get to in the future. And yet again, Boyd is not going to be doing anything right now, so we are just going to attack yet again. I'm coming at you, Boyd, like so. And you probably also saw at the end of the other battle, we got a little bit of experience. And here we got even more experience. Obviously, whenever you do battle or engage in some kind of activity, you'll gain some kind of experience. You'll get more experience by actually defeating an opponent and bringing them down to 0 HP than if you just, you know, what am I trying to say? You get more experience by defeating an enemy than just damaging an enemy. There you go. But again, that's something I'll talk more about at some other point in time. Something, I don't know. But yeah, There's much to explain about all the things I've already talked about, but right now let's just stick with mostly the basics. Yeah, it won't always be that easy. Yeah, sometimes it's going to be much more difficult. Alrighty then, come at me, Grail. I'm gonna kick your butt. Why are you still standing over there? Come over here. What? What's up, Mist? Hello there, Mist. And she is currently shown as a green unit, which is known as other units. So they're not your allies, they're not your enemies, they're just around, kinda. They just do their own thing. And here, she gave us a Vulnerary, which is a healing item. And we'll be using this healing item in a moment. Right now, Grail is going to be kind and not do anything, and just allow us to heal our wounds. Yeah, and this is a very important fact. Don't get into a situation where it might be too late. If you need healing, then heal yourself. You should definitely heal yourself, and like I said, with Boyd and his skill, Grail also has this, and holy hell, look at that! Those weapon levels down there. A rank in swords, and S rank in axes. My goodness, but he's using a sword, why would he do that? Well, he only has a sword right now, a trainer. So, let's just move closer, because why the hell not? And yeah, this is how fast you move when the game speed is fast. So, it looks a bit ridiculous, but it's gonna be very helpful. So, Vulnerary, obviously, is a healing item. Like I said, it'll heal you for 10 HP, and you can use it 3 times. So here you go. Heal up to full, right there. Also, if you don't heal in this chapter, you will fail. You have to heal. Basically, this chapter is just go attack Boyd until you defeat him, then heal up, and then attack Grail until you win. It's basically that. There's no other strategy. Not on easy, not on normal, not on difficult. It's the same strategy. Defeat Boyd, heal up, defeat Grail. There you go. I will give you a challenge by defeating you, you silly bastard. And I'll do that by simply attacking you yet again. Don't worry about healing right now, because he'll only do 6 damage. So, in the end, he'll only take you down to 1 HP, and then we will be done, because we will have defeated him with our mighty 7 damage of attack. I think it's 7 damage that we deal. Something along those lines. And with this victory, we should be getting ourselves, actually, we will be getting ourselves a level up. And like I said, I didn't mention that when I did the character bio, damn it! But in the character bio, in the parentheses, there were growth rates for Ike. So here you go. On this level up, we were lucky enough to get some HP, some defense, and some resistance. And because the growth rates are randomized in this random mode that I decided to go with, obviously, you can be very unlucky and not get any stat increases at all when you level. Or you can be lucky and gain a stat increase in everything. So there you go. Right now we got HP and some defensive stuff, so it's all good. Are you sure, Boyd? Are you sure you weren't really giving it your all? Actually, he was, because discipline. He's more powerful than that. Now, one thing I will mention, you probably maybe noticed during the level up thing, up there where it says Ike and everything, there was some kind of black line in the middle of the whole thing. And right here you can see there's some kind of missing texture graphics in the middle of this thing. Yeah. I'll admit it right now, I'm playing this on an emulator because I don't have the means to do GameCube or Wii or anything like that, so I'm using an emulator, and I could remove those lines by reducing the graphics and the resolution, but frankly, I think it just looks really meh that way. So I chose higher resolution on the characters and graphics overall, and then just have to deal with those 2 lines in the textures of the dialogue boxes and everything. Also, one thing you can do here, I believe, if I know where's the right button? There you go, the C button. If you press the C button, then you can bring up this if you skipped some dialogue or anything. Then you can bring this up if you want to look at it again. Now you know. And I kinda did not talk about any of the things that just went down right here, but Ike has now proven himself, and he's going to become a mercenary in the Grail Mercenaries. Yes, indeed, you'll catch up to everyone in no time at all. Yes, you will. Yeah, it's probably a good idea to go back now. We're done with the prologue and everything. And with that, we are done with the first chapter, the prologue, and the first episode. Now, how our episode's gonna be working out? I think I'm gonna be doing it like this. Basically, I'm gonna be playing a whole chapter, and if I have to, then I'm gonna split it into multiple parts, just like I do with The Walking Dead, and try to keep them as even in the duration. Sometimes it's not gonna reach my personal preferred time limit and everything, but I think that's the way I'm going to be doing it. So, for right now, thank you very much for watching, and until next time, see ya later.